So, Councillor, oh, there we go. The council will be doing the opening and the welcoming for us. And we'll also go into the purpose of the event, because in the interest of time, we're going to try and make sure that the speakers speak as short as possible and maybe cut what we can in the program. Councillor, please come forward. Maybe needs a round of applause because he's shy. I don't know. Hi, guys, please. Just a bit more. Please give him some encouragement. Thank you so much.
Goeiemorgen mense. Goeiemorgen. Good mornings. Good mornings. Molweni band. Yes, let us come to it. You know, I would love that let us stand for a moment, have a moment of silence. All of us. And then we can, in your own way, pray and thank the Lord for this opportunity and moment which we find ourselves in. A great moment for us. Thank you. You can be seated. I think when we start this gathering, I asked Mamuzuki, when we give you all the information, what is next? It's like, if she cry. So what are we going to do when our children start crying about that nice day? But the milk of the mother always is in the mind of the children. So we are giving them milk. But what is next? What Mama Suki said to me, no, Councillor, don't worry. Welcome first the people and then we talk. So let me welcome you in Helenvale. There is so many people that say so bad things about the area. But let me tell you what. They say there is gangsterism. Gangsterism is all over South Africa. I've worked at correctional facilities. You won't see people from a particular area. They are from all over Port Elizabeth and from all over the country. They come to a particular facility. So crime is all over. It's what we believe that we must be an agent of change. When I welcome you, I want you, when you are here, you know, by bringing information to this area, you're like an agent of change. You bring something to him that will remind him. Yes, you like a baby that drinks from his mother, and that child will never forget that milk. You can be 3 years or 4 years, you will always be as where you come from. So we are here today when I'm welcoming you. I want to say to you that you don't have to fear. I said to my brother, one of the guys that come in, they said, I'm afraid of this area. But let me tell you, Helenvale is one of the most beautiful places. There was Ethel Trollop described it as people are shooting now and for one moment it's quiet. Like nothing has happened. The children are walking in the street, they are playing like nothing has happened. What I'm trying to say to you, you are very safe here. You're with us. It's a journey with you. What you take with our people is the first step you are going to take. We will knock on your doors because you are going to leave your information also with us. So when we come to you, so you don't have to fear for us. You are going to see us when we got there. And I want to welcome you to this, with these few words and saying to you, you're welcome in my area. Julle is welkom in die area en ons is bly dat julle gekom het. Vir ons is dit baie belangrik vir die jeug in besonder en vir die moeders as Women's Month, as Vroue Maand, is 'n geleentheid om te kom hoor wat wil die mense sê. Women is the backbone of society. You know, They said a woman is like, when it's a strong mother, it's like happy family make happy children make happy communities make happy town. But the backbone of a mother is actually creating that. That's why we have also invited women to be part of this gathering. And I thank you very much. You will see that we have another side. On the other side, the people are on the other side. I think they are seeing us. If it's true, is the connection there? But nonetheless, I'm welcoming you and say to you, you don't have to fear. You are in Helenvale with us. Let us take this few hours and when we are together, we will find out that how nice Helenvale actually is. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to call Honorable Yusuf Kasim from Bishop, from the legislature, to give for this woman and young people a few words of encouragement. Can he come forward, please? Kom ons gee vir Yusuf 'n ander klap, mense. Kom gee maar lekker aan 'n klap. Baie lekker aan 'n klap. Baie dankie. Thank you.
Baie dankie, Councillor, and I know that we're running late on the program, Melis. I'm not going to be as long as I normally am, for those that know me. As Councillor have said, my name is Yusuf Kasim. I am the MPL, member of the provincial legislature for this constituency, which is the PE Northern Areas constituency. The first thing I would like to say is thank you to GCIS, Mamzuki, for bringing this program to Barcelona. Our areas and our young people in particular want information about how they can develop themselves, be themselves, and pursue their aspirations and their dreams. They want information and they want to know how can they better their conditions. And when we talk about gangsterism and drugs, it's not about the gangs. It is about the conditions. Conditions where young people are depressed, are discouraged, because they don't believe they can see a light at the end of the tunnel, a road which will take them to their potential. And I think that is what we want, a clear pathway that every single one of our people knows this is the path I can take that will take me to reach my full potential. And therefore, this program of bringing information of government programs is absolutely essential to the people of Barcelona, of Helenvale, and of the greater PE Northern areas. I'd also like to say that I've seen on the program that we have the Maritime agency present. I don't know if many of us know the FRAP, Fishing Rights Allocation Process, was supposed to have taken place last year. And currently the plan is for that process to be concluded by the end of this year. But it's a very shortened time frame because you have to do your socio-economic impact assessment and there are parts of the process that is going to be in a shortened process. I would like to say to the representatives of the Maritime Agency, we need to work together to watch these processes very carefully, to ensure that the information is available to our people so that they benefit, that they know how they can benefit from the maritime coastline that we have as a city, and to ensure that the process is fair in terms of beneficiaries and applicants. I'd also like to say that to the representative of the Premier's office that will be speaking about the isiXalo Youth Fund, I am a member of the Economic Development Portfolio in Bishu, where the fund used to be before it moved to the Premier's office. And I'm sure your office will know that I have tabled written questions in Bishu about the beneficiaries of the fund. Are people from the northern areas and colored people in particular getting an opportunity? And what is the equitable distribution of beneficiaries in Nelson Mandela Bay? I think these are the questions that we need to ask when the information is being shared. And I really hope, Mamzuki, that any questions that our young people in general that might be joining virtually, that they might pose on MS Teams, that those can be responded to on the platforms. And my last message of closure to young people, not only of the northern areas, but in general of Nelson Mandela Bay, is to say that all of us, I'm a young person myself, all of us have the potential to be ourselves, develop ourselves, and pursue our dreams. But it is not an easy journey, and do not give up when you reach some potholes and some roadblocks along the way. If your matric is not good, there is no shame if you are in your 30s to go and improve your results. If you need to get a skill, there is no shame of going to a TVET college rather than a university, because our country needs skills, not only graduates, and many of our university graduates can end up unemployed graduates, while those with skills are gaining employment. There is no timeline of success. Your time is according to your own time. Please do not compare yourself to others, because it will happen in God's time. All you have to do is put the effort, apply yourself, put in the hard work and sacrifice, and then you will be able to take advantage of your talents. And on those words, I would like to wish the program directors and all of those that are going to present here today success in this information sharing session. And I really do hope that this information will be available here at the Helenvale Youth Center permanently, so that young people can flock here and be assisted with whichever questions or whichever way that they can be shown this is the pathway that you can reach your success as an individual. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the speakers that have spoken. You know what I observed during level 5, especially of lockdown? I saw how fragile our economy actually is. Because other economies around the world, when you compare them to South Africa, they are recovering quite well from the lockdown. And step by step, gradually, they are going towards where they were before the lockdown. It also showed me that the mandate of the youth currently right now is to actually create employment for other youth. Not for us to wait, for us to be employed, for us to make CVs, but to actually go out and open up small enterprises to make sure that everybody around us is employed. If you are going on a journey of exploring and changing the world, then you cannot take it as its entirety as the continent it is, or as the globe it is. What you do, you encourage each and every person that is around you to just clean up and make sure that the environment that they are in is safe, it is conducive. And in that, you are making sure that everybody will make sure that the world changes, and therefore the world will change just by your actions. Now, I am so glad that the next item that is on our agenda is the Nelson Mandela Bay Maritime Business Chamber, or Maritime NMB Business Chamber, as they are an organization that is all about entrepreneurship. Are we ready for them to tune in to us? So the nice thing about today's event is that we are speaking to the youth, and we are also speaking to women. Because in the conversation about GBV, violence, and all the current issues that we are finding ourselves in right now, is that we need to make sure that we don't leave the men and the youth outside of the conversation. For example, if it is women that are getting affected, like with GBV, then you can't leave men out of that conversation, because who's the one that is actually abusing you? You get what I mean? Now, we need to make sure that we also incorporate the youth into those conversations, because we need to make sure that we entrench new beliefs into the youth. Entrench beliefs that they can grow up with and be disciplined, well-mannered young men with dignity of the society, and also women of grace and humility as well. Do we understand each other? A couple of years ago, I think it was in 2013, I was reading up with sociology. And they speak of this theory, it's not a theory, but it's, I don't know which theorist, but they speak of what they call agents of socialization. Because in sociology, they believe that everybody and everything needs to have a part in your life in order for you to be an adequately socialized human being. So with agents of socialization, they divide the community and divide people into different segments, saying that each and every one of these people have to have a role that they play in your life. So the family has a certain role that they play in your life. Religion has a certain role that they play in your life. Even the community has certain roles that they play in your life. Therefore, they all add to making sure that you are a holistic human being there. That's what I just thought of. Are we tuned in? Is our speaker ready? Our next speaker is going to be Unati Sonti. Okay, I'm going to give them a chance to. Okay.
All right. Good morning. No, well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. I saw there was the Councillor Peter Hammers. I don't know whether I pronounce your surname properly. Good morning, sir. The gentleman from the provincial department and other government departments, state-owned entities that are here. I'm noticing ECDC in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, the youth and the women of Helenvale and Barcelona, good morning. And a special greeting to the women at this time. I think we're only left with today and tomorrow, and we are still celebrating women. I am speaking also as a woman, encouraging other women today. My name is Nondumiso Mfenyana. I am from an organization called the Eastern Cape Maritime Business Chamber. Mr. Unati Sonti, who happened to be my chairperson, I think he was supposed to speak before me, but I think I will just continue in his absence. I don't know whether, I think he was supposed to connect. I think he's having problems with the connection. Is he on now? Must I just, okay. We are together at the Eastern Cape Maritime Business Chamber. The chamber is based in Woma, number 211 Woma Boulevard. And our role is to, we represent the interest of the local businesses currently wishing to participate in the maritime sector. It was in 2019 when we were engaging in the bunkering stakeholder meetings at Gqeberha. Those meetings are organized by the South African Maritime Business Chamber, the South African SAMSA, South African Maritime Authority, that were facilitating those meetings, and we wanted to be involved as Black businesses. You would understand that the Eastern Cape is one blessed province with 3 ports, 3 commercial ports. We have the port of Gqeberha, which is located here. We have the port of Port Elizabeth. We have the port of East London. And a lot of Black businesses have been marginalized in the sector of maritime. So we sat there and we realized that, you know, as much as our people wants to be involved in these opportunities, and having to reside in a coastal city, and people are always saying the pie is too big, but you realize that there are a lot of barriers. Our people don't get the opportunities to partake in the maritime businesses. And if you're talking about maritime, it's very huge. Very huge. Opportunities are endless. Women and youth of Helenvale, there are opportunities in maritime, but the maritime sector is very much enclosed. It's not transformed at all. There are a lot of stringent measures that are put in place, which becomes a barrier to our people to tap into the industry. So as the Eastern Cape Maritime Business Chamber, we thought, okay, let us just sit and collate ourselves and make sure that we represent the interest of small businesses in the industry. So if you're talking about maritime, you're talking about the fishing and aquaculture, which I think most of you are familiar with it. You're talking about ecotourism, maritime sports for the youth at large. So we then consolidated ourselves and make sure that we partner with government, we partner with the local government, with the province, making sure that we try and work towards transforming the industry. So, talking to youth, because many people will just want to understand what can the youth of Helenvale then do. There are a lot of opportunities in the sense that the youth, for example, the Eastern Cape has got 2 maritime schools. And those maritime schools, they are based in East London. We are hoping that the Department of Education will then move into the PE area. The 2 maritime schools, they are called Ngwenyati. It's in the most rural area in East London. And the second one is called George Randall. And those maritime schools, they take intake for, they're like high school. So you start from grade, what is standard 6? Yes, grade 8. You have to excuse me. I'm from that, I'm from that era. So there, from grade 8, the learners are being introduced into maritime. Other coastal cities like Cape Town, they have very developed maritime schools. There's one that is called Law Hill High School. It's very reputable, it's very good, it's producing a lot of good learners that are actually involved in the industry at the moment. So the Eastern Cape has just started. It's been a couple of years, I think 4 years, it's been 4 years now. So if you're interested, those are the 2 existing. If you are a learner and you're going to start the high school level, those are the 2 high schools. There's bursaries involved. There is an organization called African Maritime Solutions, AMSOL in short. They take and support learners that wants to learn from those maritime schools. SAMSA, South African Maritime Safety Authority, they also support learners that wants to study maritime studies, nautical sciences. But it looks like the country as a whole is still in a transition phase. You know, it's still fairly new that we introduce maritime from the high school level. So there's very limited teachers who have a specialty in maritime, because there's 2 electives that those teachers have to learn and teach the learners things like nautical sciences and other maritime courses. So if you are then moving from the next level will be the tertiary institutions. We have the Nelson Mandela University. At the Nelson Mandela University, they have a postgraduate studies. It's called Maritime Studies, where you can actually register there and continue with the maritime studies. We have Rhodes University. They specialize in aquaculture. So you can actually empower yourself. As I'm talking to the youth now, I'm coming to women. So you can actually study there and go to Rhodes University, register. I'm not sure of the requirements because every university has got its own entry requirements. So the Rhodes University, University of Forte, those are the universities that specializes in maritime. But unfortunately, as a country, the universities mostly specialize from the postgraduate levels, you know, when you have to do specializing in maritime. That's except the other university which are outside the province. I'm focusing on the universities that are within the province. And then we also have very brilliant institutions, the Ocean Science Campus at the University of Nelson Mandela, which looking at the coastal development initiatives that the local people need to benefit from such. It should not be a far-fetched thing, or it should not only benefit people from outside the Nelson Mandela Bay or Gqeberha. There's also SAIMI, which is South African International Maritime Institute, which is also residing in the same premises. SAIMI has got brilliant programs to empower learners, especially those who are interested in doing cadetship programs. It means people who are working on the boat. Ne? So please do inquire with those institutions. Those are the resources that we have in the Bay that we need to tap into. Are we together, people? So this, I would be disappointed if we sacrificed our time to come and speak to you and it remains a talk shop and none of the things that we are advising you to do have not been done. Even if it's just one or two people, at least take them to task. Go there, knock at those doors. They are there to assist our people first. We need to promote localization. We need to ensure that the people of Gqeberha do benefit from the resources that we have at our disposal. So if we're talking about women in maritime, as the chamber, we do have a youth function where we are actually empowering youth that are saying we are already in business. We want to work there. I know that there are people from this area that are working already at sea. Some of them, they are crew in the squid boats. Squid, which is unique to this area. There's nowhere else in South Africa where squid industry is operating except for this area. And it should be benefiting the people of this area. At the moment, there's just minimal contribution. There's minimal economic development that is happening within the squid industry, which is supposed to benefit the people of this area. So if you are a youth and you are already maybe a crew in one of the boats there, you need to empower yourself and make sure that in the next, I think the gentleman from the Premier's office touched on the FREP process. The FREP is Fishery Rights Allocation Process, which is driven by the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, because it keeps on changing. That's why I want to be also politically correct. It was DEF, now it's DFFE. So DEF, I think they are in the process of making sure that they do road shows, and we just need to partner and make sure that all those processes, they reach the people of Helenvale and Barcelona and the surrounding areas, and make sure that these people, they do apply, they do not miss the process, because the fishing rights that are going to be issued for squid and them, it's gonna be a long term, like 15 to 20 years, I'm not sure, but around about that period. So you must make sure that you are part of that process. You are applying, you comply, you set up your business, make sure that you apply with the CIPC, register your business, and you are compliant with SARS, because they are working with people who are, registered entities. So that's just fishing. And as the chamber, we also support, we work together with a number of stakeholders from government, and one of those stakeholders is CDC, Gqeberha Developmental Corporation. We work with them in the area of making sure that the development of the aquaculture zone, because Gqeberha will soon be, they already doing with the roads and plumbing and all of that. There's a site allocated specifically for aquaculture there. And as the chamber, we are working closely in making sure once that development is in place, our people do benefit. So we're trying to put together a task team with Gqeberha in making sure that we identify the gaps. What is it that our people would need? If there's training interventions that are needed for entities to be able to operate at Gqeberha, those people get adequately trained to run their businesses at Gqeberha for aquaculture. So as I said initially, Maritime is broad, though there's lots of things, and it does not leave out artisan people who are equipped. I know that some of you have got some skills one way or the other. If you are a plumber, don't think, I want you to understand the ocean as land, as in land. If you are a plumber or an electrician on land and working, doing all these fixing artisan jobs, even at sea, vessels need electricians, they need plumbers, they need all this artisan equipment. So try to expand your skill, and knock at those doors. And we are so fortunate, once again, as I say, I think people of Gqeberha must take note of the fact that even Transnet, the national head office of Transnet, they have moved to our area, and we must actually take them to task and make sure that our people benefit with every opportunities that are available. But we need to position ourselves and make sure that we have the skills, we have the necessary permits that are required, because if you want to, for an example, work at sea, there are certain requirements and permits that are required, which you need to apply with Transnet. People who are divers, there's opportunity if you want to work at sea and clean the boats. You want to dive and clean the boats. There's jobs. There's those kind of opportunities. You apply for a diver's license with Transnet. I think it takes about 6 weeks. So make sure that we make use of those opportunities. And now there's even been, as a chamber, we have tried to communicate with the port regulator to make sure at least the fees are reduced. So now there's a 30% reduction of those fees, license reduction. And the beauty is that you get to pay your fee, your application fee within the duration of your permit. So if your diver's permit is 3 years, so you don't have to pay all at once. So you pay it over the 3 years, you make an arrangement with Transnet. So all that I'm trying to say, the pie is too big, but we need to position ourselves. Young people of Helenvale, young people of Barcelona, position yourselves to make sure that we are ready to tap into the opportunity. Because there's no point in saying we know last week we were told that I think about 40, 45, 46% of unemployment in the Eastern Cape. It's way too much. And it could be that it is even more. The government is only notifying us of the figures that are registered. What about the people that they're not even aware of? Could be that it's more. So what it means is that we need to position ourselves, make use of us, make use of all the other entities that will be talking here today. Take everyone into, you must account to, because we are here to serve our people. We must make sure that our people are well positioned, our people are well equipped to ensure that we at least get these opportunities and perform to world standards. Not substandards. We are able, women, we can do this thing. It's not only for men, These opportunities are endless. They are there. Let's tap into that. Even if you form a co-op, government always supports cooperatives. Don't work alone, run and go and eat your million in the corner. No, work together with others, because it could be that auntie has got a special skill, auntie is good in admin, and then you take young people and say these people will run around and go and attend meetings and go and submit application forms. There's this Kalo that is going to be presented here. There's just a lot. Before I forget, the South African Navy, which is also part of Maritime, will be doing a road show on the 17th and 18th of next month. They are doing a recruitment for people, young people that are interested to join the Navy. If you are physically fit and you can swim, I think that's the only, and grade 12, I think, go there, go and listen. They will be at the Newton Park swimming pool. They will be doing a national road show, so that they will be here in the Eastern Cape, I think in East London, and here in PE. They will be at a Newton Park swimming pool on the 17th and 18th of next month. Make sure you don't miss such opportunities. Budi, you fit, must go there. They will just put you in a swimming pool. If they see that you can swim and can hold your breath underwater for certain minutes, you're in. You're part of the SA Navy. So there are endless opportunities, guys. Let's not just sit and wait and wait and wait, because nothing will happen if we just fold our arms and do nothing. I wish you all the best. And I think this is the best step by being here. It shows that you are keen in learning, you are keen to find help and assistance, and I hope you get what you came here for. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Business Chamber for that comprehensive presentation. I would like to open up for a quick round of questions while they are here. Okay. How am I going to do this? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Good day. I'm Lalita Gqeberha within Ward 13. I've got a few questions to ask. The first one is, many times our youth are afraid of speaking out or to tell their circumstances due to rejection when they come at places for information, and they always are turning away. And I want to ask, what about, I've heard now you talk about the tertiaries and the schools. Most youth within our communities have intellectual problems. They either drop out of school or they don't finish up with their special schools. Now, how do you gonna make, what can we do to help them? Because many times they're not academically fit, but with their hands, with what they observe, they can put a better thing on the table as writing it down on a piece of paper. Because I had a problem. I have a child who has an intellectual. He's a slow learner. He went to Siyaya. And they gave him a test to do there, but within a time frame. But because he's a slow learner, he didn't finish up that test in time. So he was shown away. So how do they advance their skill in that process?
Thank you for your question, ma'am. I can relate to that, and I think there's a lot of young people who end up being discouraged and end up saying, you know, there's no hope for me. But I think I'm glad that you even made an example of the institution like CIA, because they specialize in learners who are, you know, slow and mostly doing artisan type of work. What I can advise is that don't give up. You know, don't give up. I know it's just not easy. You know, and I think maybe is it a he or she? A he. Maybe you can even register a business. You know, as I had said, that's why I made an example of saying, if you have technical skills, you are an artisan, you can still get opportunities at sea. You know, they still need plumbers, they still need welders, they still need electricians, those kind of things. Let him register a business and not stop finding even those small courses so that he can get a certificate. There are institutions that can that provide like 5-day certification in plumbing, 5-day certification for electrician or welders. Look out for such. But I think he must go back to CIA, because they are one of the institutions that specializes. If he believes in what he's got, you know, his talent, he believes in his talent, he should not give up on his dream. He should not give up on his dream. Continue to encourage him, continue to send him to such institutions so that he can get assistance. But most importantly, he must register his business. Because I think, you know, even our people, we must support one another. We must support that a small entrepreneur. If that boy is good in tiling, if you are renovating your house as a neighbor, support him. Support him. Then, you know, word of mouth also helps our businesses to grow. Because my friend, when he comes and see that I've got this nicely tiled kitchen, and then I'll say, Paul or Peter did it for me. You know, he can do it for you. So that you, at least he's encouraged in his area of expertise, on his skill. Nema. But don't give up on his dream. Continue to encourage him. Let him register the business. And SIDA can assist. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. SIDA can assist. So maybe you can take their contacts and let him go to SIDA, because they also support in non-financial support for small businesses. Ne? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any more questions so I can close this round and we can move on to the next presentation? Okay. So our next presentation will be coming from Gqeberha. Can please Pumeza Kona please come forward? Go on. Okay, for the interest of time, can I move on in the meantime so that we can okay, so that we can catch up on the time that we've lost. Uyanga Tansi. Okay, not a problem. So with Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, Mañano, please come forward. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Program Director and the audience. My name is Mañano Diallo. I'm the project coordinator under the program called Expanded Public Works Program in the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan and the Sarapatman region. I will be presenting the programs under the program called Epwp and try to give you the background of Epwp. Epwp was established in 2004. The aim was to provide poverty and income relief through temporary employment for the unemployed in the country. And also, Department of Public Works and Infrastructure was identified to be a coordinating department for the Epwp program across the country. All departments do have Epwp, your national departments, provincial departments, and also local government, which is your municipalities. Under Public Works, we do have 5 programs that contribute under Epwp. There are three programs that are targeting youth, and also there's another one. There are two are targeting the women and youth and people with disability. In most, those that are targeting youth, first one is called Epwp, Accelerated Grade and Competency Development Program. That one we develop artisans there. It's a skills development program under built environment activities, namely bricklaying, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, welding, tiling, neighborhood, and diesel mechanics, motor mechanics, you name them. We target the youth there from 18 to 35. There's a minimum requirement for these programs. For painting, you must just have grade 9. Then the department will take you through up to the trade test. For bricklaying, plumbing, carpentry, we need N2 or level 2 from TVET colleges. For electrical engineering, for motor mechanics, diesel mechanic, electrical, we need the minimum requirement of N3 or level 2 or level 3, sorry. What we do there, we train you. We start by doing the basic training where we check the knowledge of you on that trade. Then we determine which modules that we can take you through before we take you for trade test. The duration of the project it's 3 years. The department takes you, train you up to the trade test. You don't pay any cent. On that 3 years, the department will give you the stipend of 3,000 rand. Take you to the training center. There are 3 training centers that we normally take them through. It's Eastern Cape Training Center, the IETI, and the Porter Training Center. We'll train you, we'll trade test you, we'll give you the national diploma on that trade. If it's a bricklaying, it's a bricklaying, it's a plumbing, it's a plumbing, it's a carpenter, it's a carpentry. If it's a diesel mechanic, it's diesel mechanic. The second one is National Youth Services. National Youth Services is a 18 months program. We give you there a stipend of 2,400 rand for the period of 18 months. We're also targeting the built environment trades there. But this program, we're just introducing you to those programs, those trades, we mean, your bricklaying, carpentry, electrical, painting, mechanical, boreholing, tiling. We take you for training and we give you a certificate, an accredited certificate, but not a diploma. We also take the youth for administration, where we place you in one of the provincial government offices and local government municipalities, where we train you there for administration. For the period of 18 months, we place you in various units, your supply chain, your HR, your finance, your buildings, your special programs, where we expose you how to conduct yourself on a working environment. The third one is it's 18 months. The third one that is targeting youth is a new program that was introduced last year. It's called Epwp COVID-19 Youth Brigades. The minimum requirements for that program, it's grade 10. There are 3 phases there. It's called cleaner, there's a monitor, there are occupational health and safety reps. We placed these brigades in all provincial governments in the region, which is Sarabatman and Metro, for the period of 6 months, where they are specializing in terms of COVID-19 regulations. They make sure that the COVID-19 regulations are taken care of. The health and safety guys are the ones that are visiting all the departments where we placed the brigades, checking that the officials and the clients do follow the COVID-19 regulations. There we pay the stipend of the cleaners, we pay them the stipend at the amount of 2,200 rand. The monitors, we pay them the stipend of 3,500. The health and safety reps, we pay them the stipend of 4,000 rand for the period of 6 months. The new group started last month. Those programs are targeting the youth. We encourage that the youth must apply. You can apply online. There's a website. There's a portal called Job Amatuba. Job portal, Amatuba job portal. Yeah, where you log in there. You start by registering, then you capture your information there. After you've captured, you will get the reference through SMS. Then when time for recruiting, we just go to the portal and draw the spreadsheet. Then we take as per your application, as per your information there. Then there's these two programs called Epwp maintenance program. That one we are targeting women, youth, people with disability, then men. The target is we are targeting the 55% of women, 55% of youth, 2% people with disability. This program we are targeting the provincial buildings, your clinics, hospitals, schools, where we place these participants to maintain those buildings in terms of cleanings, fixing the broken windows, broken doors, broken lights, and do some plumbings and painting. We also train them. They are working 12 days in a month for a period of 12 months, giving them the stipend of 1,300 rand by the end of the month. In the metro, we placed there. We've got about 13 at Livingston, and we've got about 15 at Mpelisweni Hospital. They are doing the cleaning, the landscaping, the fixing of door locks, plumbing, and the carpenter. We train them. By the end of they started in July. Come end of June, they will have the certificate of landscaping, certificate introduction in plumbing, introduction in carpentry, introduction in plumbing. We will train them so that after the contract expired, they will be able to do their smaller jobs in the community. The last program under Epwp Public Works is the program called Integrated Contractor Development Program, where we develop the contractors, the emerging contractors from grade 1 to grade 6 under the following class of works: general building, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and special works. Special works is the road markings, fencing, and the plumbing. The department put aside a certain budget for development of those SMMEs. We train them in terms of health and safety, how to calculate tender documents, time management, contract management, project management. Then we take you to one site where we practicals in terms of doing the theory that we gave you. Then you make it on practical. The project is for 3 months. It's for 3 years. Where if the contractor came in the program as grade 1, we make sure that the contractor must come end of the program. The contractor must be in grade 2 or grade 3, and can be able to compete with other big contractors in terms of pricing the document and compiling the health and safety file. Chair, those are the programs that we have under Public Works targeting the youth and the women in the National Mandela Metro. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Is Gqeberha still here? I just want to make sure that. Okay. Let me give you the mic. Phumeza Kona from Gqeberha. Can they tune in? Okay. Okay, so they're going to be joining virtually so we can all watch the screens.
My audio has since disappeared again. I can.
Okay, Ms. Pumeza, you can proceed. The thing is, so, yeah, Ted.
Can everyone
Okay.
hear me now?
Please just give her 2 seconds. I'm sure she'll connect soon so we can hear her. You know how technology betrays us. Let me take questions in the floor in the meantime, based on the other presentations. Yes, ma'am.
Why you wait now for it? I just want to, I didn't hear the whole story about what because I was busy, but my first question on the program of the women, youth and the disabled, the EPWP thing is the intakes. How many people do you take
Can
for
people
the
at the venue please
training and
confirm if they can hear me?
that? Yeah.
Also have a question. Okay.
Thanks. Madam, each and every financial year, we do have a target of these programs, for these programs. For this financial year, it's only 2 programs that we have already recruited. The EPWP Youth Brigades and also the EPW Maintenance Program. For the youth, for UPCOD and NYS, the intake for NYS will be in October, and the one for UPCOD will be in November. In numbers, we are targeting to recruit about 19 in the Nelson Mandela Metro, and for UPCOD will be around 20. The reason for that, we already have the participants, but when they go out, we add up. The overall target for UPCOD it's 50, and the overall target for NYS it's 25. So we add up, we keep on adding up each and every financial year. Yes.
Testing.
Have you been captured, ma'am, by the answer? Okay.
That was okay.
There's another question here first, then I'm going to come to you, Councillor.
Thank you. I would like to know the admission requirements for the National Youth Service Program. You said it's 18 months and administration requirements.
Thanks. The requirement for National Youth Program, it's for painting. We are targeting the grade 9 report. Then for other trades, it's grade 12. Other trades, it's bricklaying, plumbing, carpentry, electrical, and also for the administration is grade 12. It's only for painting that is grade 9.
Thank you for grade 12. You don't have any specified levels in subjects. You just need a pass in grade 12. Okay.
Okay, so since we're sharing a lot of information here, just spoke to the counselor now. Most of this information will also be available in his office. We'll make the necessary arrangements after the session. But just if you have any other follow-ups or you don't want to maybe ask your question here, or you want to get information, application forms, we'll liaise with the counselor's office just to make sure that all of this will be available there. Let me take your question now, counselor.
Thank you. Sir, what I want to ask you, I like the EPWP thing because it speaks to the youth. It assisting us because of the unemployment. What can we do or where can we go to tap into these programs of you? Can we go straight to even Dodgers building, or where can we go so that we have maybe a direct one-on-one meeting so that we don't take a lot of your time, but where we can have a one-on-one session that we can also where we can have more information on this program. I like it because it speaks to our people. It speaks to what we seek to achieve. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Councillor. Our offices are at number 5 Albany Road. Yes, they're on top. We will be there and we will assist you. We'll give you all the necessary information. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to assume that was the last question based on the hands, so we can move on with the next presentation. I'll be ready with the one that's going to with Gqeberha that's joining in virtually. While we fix that, let me proceed with the program. Can you just confirm if you are here live, ne? So that we can move. Okay, the office of the premier. I'm looking for Yanga, Tansi. Are they here? Okay, the National Youth Development Agency, Siyabulela Zondani, NIDA. And CEDA. I did see you.
Thank you. Good. Greetings to everyone. Greetings to everyone in the room and everyone who is connecting on Teams. My name is Zandile Sikaka. I'm from CEDA. I'm branded. I hope everyone can see. Our offices are at 329 Cape Road in Newton Park, 329 Cape Road in Newton Park. CEDA is short for Small Enterprise Development Agency. We provide non-financial services, as OCC has stated earlier on. Our programs include, but they are not limited to trainings. We provide the trainings. We train everyone who has a business opportunity or already in the business, and we provide business advice. We also help in like when you want to start a business, we can help you with your idea. But all of our programs are non-financial. Can you hear me? Our support is non-financial. When I say non-financial, let me say maybe you need a marketing material. That's where we specialize in. When you need a marketing tool, we are there. When you need a marketing tool, we are there. When you need access to finance, we are there. We share information, for an example, we'll guide you where you will get the assistance or information. What else? For now, we have a program for women. As we said, we're celebrating women. We do have a program for women, but it's run by our national office. It's meant to assist women to tap into the export. It's as I said, it's done by our national office, but we do have information. I can give you information for those who manufacture, for those who produce, then we can assist you. For youth, we assist, we target youth, we target men, we target everyone. We don't have age limit. Remember, we don't have age limit, but as long as you have a business opportunity in your mind, at least you must identify a business, and then we can assist you. What else that is there? I think my briefing is very short, but if you need any information, I'm here. You can get me at the information center. Our phone number is 041 390 8500. 041 390 8500. Any questions? Anyone who has a question? Okay, I'm noting you.
Thank you, ma'am. I just wanted to follow up with you. You say you are SIDA, you are non-financial. You are only assisting in drawing a business plan and how you can make a success of your business. Don't you think that that is the challenge which we confront SMEs at the moment? That maybe that in your plan that you can assist them, because we see SMEs fighting for job, but they doesn't grow in their business, or they doesn't have a particular say this is the skills which we want to develop as an SME. Are you able to assist them for in particular women in that matter?
Okay, as I said, the sheet trades is for those women who produce something. If you can make maybe these sunglasses, then we assist you. There's an incubation that they run. They guide you the whole process. Yes, it's for women. That one. Are you clear, sir?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. There are no other questions. Just to confirm, Usida, you don't provide financial services, ne? But you assist in anything that a business needs. For example, if you have a business plan that you want to get drafted, they'll help you there. If you've got equipment that you need, they will be able to maybe assist. Okay.
It's anything that to develop your business, not equipment. Yeah, but we do have a program that's called TRAP. It's a TRAP. It's called TRAP. They buy you equipment, but it's for businesses that have been operational for like 3 months because they need your financial or bank statement for 3 months. It's a TRAP. It's for Chisanyama. It's for hair salons. It's for what else? Automotive. So as I said, when you need more, I'm at the back for more information.
Thank you so much. Can you please get the beneficiary from SIDA? Thank you. Let's introduce it, please.
Okay. Is it morning or afternoon? Hello, my name is Mzu Solwanile. I'm one of the beneficiaries of SIDA. My company is called RunB. I'm the owner or the founder of the socks, which are called Run Babe. I'm wearing them. They are normally active socks for people who are active in especially running, because I used to be a runner. And then the socks that I will buy from the shops, they will hurt my feet, and then I try to come with an idea or some sock that will be friendly or user-friendly to my feet. In February, that's when I launched the socks. up to date. Got more, we sold over 1,000 pairs of socks. With Cedar, I went to approach Cedar, I think about a month or 2 months ago. The thing is that it is important in business, especially when you're dealing with ideas. You first, even before you go and present your idea, you first protect your idea, because you never know who you will be dealing with on the other side. I remember going to another place, but not Cedar, to go and ask in terms of how they can assist me. The person who was there, instead of him assisting me, he told me about his interest in business. So you will never know who was there and who will take your idea and run with it, because they've already have the resources. And you as a person, you are blank, you know nothing, you're going there for assistance. So it is always good to go and protect your property, your intellectual property, so that no one can take it from you. So if anyone wants to go into business or is interested in business, please do ask. I don't know if Cedar, if they do assist when it comes to intellectual property. Ask them in terms of how can you protect your idea so that no one else can go and steal your idea and make money out of your idea. I needed branding because my business already started moving because at these events. So that's when I approached Cedar in terms of asking them how they can assist me when it comes to branding. And then I was informed what they needed from my side. I was able to comply and gave them the documents which were needed. And then I got the assistance so that when I go to these places to go and showcase my product, or I'm able to be seen from people, so that I'm able to be seen, because when it comes to marketing, branding is very important, because there are a lot of items or there are a lot of products out there. So you need to make ways or find ways of making your product to stand out. That's how I was assisted by Cedar. But again, I will urge you, protect your ideas. Protect your ideas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I assume we can move on to the virtual people now. Technical team? Okay. So let's start with Gqeberha, please.
Testing. It's Pomeza from Gqeberha. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if it will be possible for me to project my presentation, but I can speak through it if that is okay with the meeting.
You can share it.
Okay. I will be speaking through my presentation. Brief introduction. I am Pomeza Kona. An
Sorry,
employee
Pomeza,
of
sorry to
Gqeberha
disturb you.
Development Corporation, the CDC. Together with me, I have a colleague, Renee Murray, and earlier we had another colleague, Vyokazi Khazia, who has since requested to exit this meeting for a 1 o'clock engagement. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the GCIS for this invitation, giving us an opportunity to engage and share information with the community of Helenvale, and also get an opportunity to get to understand other organizations and their operations at large. The emphasis for this meeting is directed mostly at the youth and the women, and their development, empowerment, and their enrichment. In giving a summary of the Gqeberha Development Corporation in an aspect of youth and women development, I'm going to share briefly the programs that the organization is running that are aimed at attracting the youth and the women and possibly developing them further. Brief overview of the organization for those who are not really in the know of Gqeberha development. We have a head office here in Port Elizabeth, slightly outside of the Blue Water Bay N2 going towards Colchester. We have various offices across the country in Pretoria, Cape Town, East London, KZN, Northern Cape, and Mthatha. And our core operation or business is mainly talking to infrastructure development, where we are an implementing agent of construction sites. As an organization, we are mandated, because we are a state-owned entity, we are mandated by the government of the Republic. So we report to the government, and obviously the subsidiaries of the government of South Africa, being the DTI, the DTID, together with the Nelson Mandela Bay municipalities, among others. In talking to the youth and women empowerment within the CDC, I'm going to briefly be touching on various programs that the organization offers, which the first is going to be the internship program. The internship program, the purpose of the internship program for the organization is to give an opportunity to the young unemployed graduates who have exited their tertiary qualifications, looking for an opportunity to get the general basic, employment experience, because we are living in the time where it looks like a qualification alone is not enough. That is what drives the Gqeberha Development Corporation internship programs. The program that is offered directed to the youth runs on a duration of 18 months, and the candidates are offered an opportunity to operate in all levels within the organization. As we have a different units or departments as an organization, we have got the human resources, we've got finance, we've got supply chain, we've got the SMME, the facilities unit, the securities unit, and the infrastructure unit. So that then means it cuts across all disciplines, where we offer these opportunities to the young unemployed graduates. How does one access, the CDC internship program? We are in relations with different tertiary institutions around the Nelson Mandela Bay, where we engage with them and request that they let us know of the individuals or the students that have just completed their studies, and then we keep a database of these students, and then it is when the need arises in the different units and disciplines within the organization operations that we tap in that, and then make communications to the candidates, inviting them for interviews that ultimately will lead to one being given the opportunity to be in the internship program within the CDC. Currently, we have a total of 78 interns, which 58 is funded by the CDC, and the 20 is externally funded. The externally funded mostly is talking to those learners that are within the TVET colleges that are looking to get, experience as part of them completing their qualifications. And those are funded different sitters. We liaise with the colleges to say, bring forward the learners that require this experience in order for them to complete their qualification, so that we expose them to our operation. Another program that is directed at the youth within the CDC is that within the Skills Development Center situated here at the CDC premises. The program is an apprentice program, which was started with the idea of equipping the unemployed youth locally in line with the requirements that we foresee that is going to be needed within the SEZ investors. If going back a little bit, our business in Gqeberha is we attract the investors, whether locally or internationally, for them to come into the SEZ land and build their companies here. And part of them coming into the SEZ is the obligation for them to give opportunities to the local unemployed people. So the Skills Development Center was tailor-made to be talking to the attraction of the investors and what they will be bringing onto the bay, so that there is are very different. We have got one that is talking to the electrical, plumbing, welding, boiler making, bricklaying, carpentry, fitting and turning, etc. All these programs run for the duration of 3 years, and they form part of technical training, and also all the learners and the candidates are equipped overall when they exit the skills development and training programs. The CDC heavily relies on funding from the different SETAs. The people that are leading these programs, they liaise with the different SETAs to try and obtain funding, and then we are able to offer these programs. Once you are in the program, you are then accorded a stipend of between 2,000 Rand up until 3,500 Rand. It depends on the availability of funding for that different SETA that will be sponsoring each program. The entry level for the technical training programs currently is a matric certificate, the NCV4 or the N2 TVET college qualification. We have managed to train as many as possible, with them getting opportunities onto all the construction that is taking place here at the SEZ, the Gqeberha SEZ. Therefore, the response, has been positive, and we have had success stories, which we still, endeavor to try and do more, so that everyone, or even anyone, is able to have access to this information for the betterment of themselves. Another program that the CDC offers directed at the youth is that of the driver training program. When we were talking about the internship program, we saw the need that at times one requires to be equipped with acquiring a driver's license, and that is when the idea of the driver training program came about. As an organization, all the interns that are coming into the organization are accorded this opportunity to go into the driver training program at no cost. The organization takes liability for that expense. You get into the program, you are trained to obtain your driver's license and everything that comes with you obtaining the driver's license. The CDC, you know, makes provision for transporting the candidates to, you know, to the booking venues, to the testing center, to the traffic department, etc. This also extends to, you know, the external CDC employees to the community at large. However, the extension of the driver training program to anyone that is not an employee of the organization is dependent on the CETA that is funding the program. What happens, the CETA will, you know, liaise with the CDC and offer a certain amount of money for the driver training to take place, stipulating the number of learners or candidates that they wish for the CDC to take on. So any other person who is not employed at the CDC is totally dependent on the availability of, you know, funding from the different CETAs. How one can access that would be to try and liaise, you know, with the right unit that is responsible for these programs to ascertain the best way for them to, you know, get these opportunities, and when would be the best time for them to know, acquire this knowledge or information. And the unit responsible is always open to engaging with anyone who's trying to you know, get these opportunities. Another program the CDC is running, talking to the youth, is the Maths and Science program. We're currently running a Maths and Science program that is aimed at the learners that did not do well, that did not pass their, you know, Maths and Science during their matric year. This is totally funded by the organization. It is aimed at you know, the disadvantaged communities. It is aimed at improving, you know, the level of Maths and Science within the Bay, within the Eastern Cape as a whole. The program gives a second chance to these learners who did not pass, with the aim of bettering themselves. And within the program, we have had success stories that have been positive. All our learners that we have are of the ages between 18 and 21. For example, last year, the program had about 100 learners, of which 70% were females. And from that program, we've had numerous success stories of our learners, you know, obtaining the highest level within their Maths and Science. One example is a young lady, Amy Jack. She is currently, you know, studying medicine in Cuba. And we have Chelsea Barnard, who is from the northern areas, currently studying BSc at Rhodes University. We have got learners that are going to study, you know, to become pilots within border aviation schools. And this is all between the interactions that are made within the Maths and Science program, because it doesn't only end at, you know, teaching Maths and Science. It takes it further as to trying to obtain, you know, funding or bursaries, if I may put it that way, for all the learners that we have into our program. And we have been successful in getting that for the young learners to try and better themselves, to realize their, you know, their dreams, so that they can be able to be sustainable, you know, at the end of it all. And in general, the Gqeberha Development Corporation fully supports the empowerment of the youth and of the women. One example of that maybe some would have seen was the introduction of the Global Scholar Program. that is talking to giving an opportunity to people within South Africa, because we are with our operations cut across the country as a whole. The Global Scholar Program was established to give an opportunity to people of South Africa, if I may say, to get an opportunity to study abroad. In doing that, we are wanting anyone who will grab this opportunity to give this opportunity to go to study abroad. This is all based on the liaisons that we've had with different universities across the country or even across the world, in Europe, in Asia, etc. The emphasis with this initiative was mostly talking to the need and the requirement for gender representation. Therefore, we were strictly relying or requesting that a 60% of applications be of women, so that we are trying to balance the representation not only for the CDC but for the country as a whole. In a nutshell, as I said, the CDC is engaging in different platforms with different initiatives that are talking to women and youth empowerment. As a result, we with the aim of empowering, with the aim of sustaining everyone that will be involved and taking part in such. I'm trying now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
I think I have tried to summarize my presentation from everything that I have mentioned. I don't know if everyone was able to hear me clearly.
Yes, we can. You're very audible this side.
I am still experiencing audio breakages in between. I'm going to hope that I was kind of clear. Can everyone hear me still?
Yes, we can still hear you.
I'm not sure if I should be going back at the beginning of my presentation as I was talking through it.
No.
Or is there anyone wishing for clarity from all that I have mentioned?
Let's rather move in this fashion. We'll take a round of clarity-seeking questions, and then in your answer, should there be a need that you go back to any part of your presentation, then you can use that to clarify the questions.
Thank you. I hear that. Back to the floor.
Can I please have questions from the floor? Going once. Okay.
I think if I may, through you, Chair.
Do you want to take this before or after the question that we have? Because I've got a person.
Oh, okay. Let's proceed with the question.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
I can hear you, sir. I will let you know if
Okay,
I
thank
need
you so
clarity,
much.
though.
Firstly, ma'am, Thank you for the presentation. It really assists us to get into your space, so to speak. Yeah. I'm very interested in the women and youth issue, in particular where you talk about driver training for our youth, and also the involvement of women in construction, where you say there is opportunity for us for training and so on. So I just wanted to ask you, is it maybe possible that you can email your presentation for us so that we can have it? So when we get into contact also with you guys, that we have a closer look into your presentation.
Okay. If I may request clarity on the second part related to the driver training. I think on the second part of your question, you were requesting that I share my presentation with everyone. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, the information shared today is of public knowledge with the CDC employees and the general public. Therefore, there will not be a problem in me sharing this, presentation with you. And I think in doing that, that will give you an opportunity to further engage on it. And I would like further to open the opportunity for you or anyone who will have this information to liaise with the organization for further clarity on anything that I have mentioned. We are always open to engaging and giving direction to anyone who is looking for opportunities.
Thank you so much. That will be great. Can I take any more questions before we move on? Okay, I don't see any question. Can I please have Yanga?
May I
Yes.
further say one last thing before and as an organization, we frequently do road shows where we go within the different communities to share who we are and what opportunities are there. I think if we can liaise with stakeholders within the area of Helenvale and any other surrounding areas, we can possibly do a separate road show that is directly, aimed at that area, where we can, as Gqeberha Development, present ourselves so that we have a further engagement with the people within that area. So the leading stakeholders or individuals can liaise with myself within the organization if they are keen in making that happen.
That'll be perfect.
All right.
Okay, I think the council's got it. Are you comfortable with us moving on to the next speaker, or is there anything else you wanted to say in closing from your side? Okay, I think Pumeza's done.
We can proceed to another speaker. As I had said earlier, I'm with my colleagues, Renee Murray. Murray, where she was going to, give testimony. She is an intern within the organization. She is spending time within the organization, within the operations, if the time allows, of course.
Okay, in the meantime, you can move on with the testimony, please.
All right, over to you, Renee.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Thank you. And can you see me as well? Yes. Thank you very much.
We like to be seen, everyone.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. My name is Renee Murray. I was born and bred within the Gqeberha area. My role within the organization, I am currently a web developer intern for the CDC. I've been with the company since June 2019. I basically play the role of developing and maintaining the CDC's websites, as well as other digital related projects for the marketing and comms department. So from my end, I can basically say what I have learned during my duration being with the CDC. Because I work with a team of graphic designers, I've also gained some new skills from them, creating more work concerning like the brand of the company, and basically incorporating it into the different designs. I've also learned to take constructive criticism well, because obviously mistakes are made, and definitely, however, you need to learn to not take things too personally when you are in the working environment, because it is at the end of the day a professional judgment to better me at the end of the day. Finally, I'd like to say, it is easy to understand that working hard, even if it's a small task, helps build a good work ethic, and people notice you for the small effort that you put in as well. Lastly, I would like to say that my view of the CDC, where youth and women development is concerned, I would believe that the company in future could invest more in its youth, namely the interns, as well as the women within the organization. So not only invest in them, but also work on retaining them with all the experience and training the company has provided to the development of its youth. So women also need to be elected in more executive and operational level, seeing that those positions are more male dominated at this point. It will also help create a more gender diverse teams for the CDC. Yeah, so from my opinion, results have shown that having a higher percentage of women in the workplace predicts more job satisfaction, more organizational dedication, more meaningful work, and also a less burnout. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you. To you, Chair.
Yes. Oh, back to me. Can I please have the Office of the Premier, then if that's all from Gqeberha's side? I'll leave it back here.
Thanks. What's the time? Good afternoon, President colleagues. But good afternoon, everyone. There bantu abadala phakathi kwethu. Let me first greet I think the councillors here. I greet you, honorable councillors. I greet everyone who's been invited in this gathering. Colleagues from GCIS, government departments present here today. Program Director, good afternoon. My name is Yanga Tansi from the Office of the Premier, and I'm relatively disappointed on the audience or on the number of young people who are here, taking into account the statistics that we have on youth unemployment in the province, many challenges that are affecting young people, especially in the Nelson Mandela Bay, which I'm aware there are quite a number of challenges that are affecting young people in this area. So I would have thought that we would engage with more young people, but then hopefully they are connected wherever they are. And also I understand that when you're dealing with young people, there's also have challenges in terms of connectivity, challenges even in accessing this digital that we connect to, but hopefully the information will reach out to them. And hopefully we will come back here again so that we may have access to more young people. When I was driving through this area, I know there's a lot that could be said to a much bigger young people here. Noba ndingazi, I may not know the statistics of the area, but as you can see, there's quite a lot that we may have to share with young people. Meaningful programs and programs that they can see with their own eyes rather than us talking. I don't like coming to these programs that we talk and talk and talk, but at least you get to hear testimonies from young people. But it's always nice when we gather most government departments to actually come and showcase what's really happening rather than us being employees talking about it. So that's why I don't really like these programs, but it's fine. It's a way that we can communicate. But you know, when you're working in the space of young people, you get too attached to and frustrated at how you see young people suffering and us talking and talking and talking all the time. It gets really tiring, but we have to share the information anyway. But when we hopefully we'll come back next time, but it's always nice get to see these areas as a person who's working with young people in the province. I'm coming from the Office of the Premier, as they have said, an office which is a youth directorate that deals with issues of young people, an office that coordinates all government departments on matters of youth development in the province. We've been invited by GCIS to come present on Isiqalo Youth Fund. But I think as we get to navigate through the province as well as the office, we've got to make other people understand the nature of our office rather than being invited to talk on one aspect, so that we may get to understand what we do as the office as well. But this program is not for that. I'll just present on Isiqalo Youth Fund, on how young people of this area can access and be able to be part of the initiative, which is done by the Eastern Cape government, targeting youth SMMEs, of course, targeting aspiring entrepreneurs of this province, targeting young people who want to venture into the business space, or young people who are already in the business space but would want to expand. So the fund is mainly for young people from the ages up to 35 years. The fund is meant to assist young people who want to start up, young people want to start up their businesses. One, that's the first phase of funding. Young people who want to co-fund their business, young people who want to venture into franchise businesses, young people who want to develop an idea. So the fund, it's got 4 phases that it has: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. The last phase of funding is up to a 3 million rand. In fact, that's the fund value. So it can fund you up to 3 million rands. But the startup, it can fund you up to 1 million rand. The idea generation can fund you up to 500,000 rand, and then the expansion up to 3 million rand, the franchise phase up to 3 million rand. So this is a grant that is available for young people. It's not a loan, but it's a grant meant to start up their businesses, those who might have ideas in their heads but don't know where to start. We are working with different agencies in rolling out the program. I know we've got one challenge that we're still working on. Of course, with many young people in the province, you'll get a flock from these offices, but I know there is a cry of business plans, issues, and so forth. Usida was here saying they offer that. So for any young person who wishes to have an idea developed in writing, we normally send them. In fact, we always send them to CEDA. CEDA does that service, NYDA does that service, so that they may have a credible business plan, whether and only, but as long as it's a credible business plan. So those agencies do offer that. I know it's always a cry to say that we can't do business plan, we can't, but we've got organizations that solemnly deal with such, which we have partnered with in terms of implementing the grant. So we would understand that it has moved from DDIT to being operated in the office of the Premier. Hence, probably you see this phase. Probably in the previous year, we had seen this being presented by a person from DDIT, but it has since moved in from the 1st of April. So hopefully get that there are young people from this area who have applied. Those applications were out from the 1st of July, 2021, and they are closing today. That's the first batch. So let's hopefully I hope the way young people were able to access that opening. But the second opening is again coming in September, month end September, which will obviously now close a month later for that. But now it's going to target 2021-2022 financial year. Closing it's for 2021-2022. So the other one is for the next financial year, 2022-2023. But opening will be in September. So grab that opportunity if you went. If you didn't know about it, then obviously you'll get a chance yokufaka. But we've done many outreach programs, including radios, and I was personally here in Algoa. Is it Algoa FM? Yeah, we've had many outreach programs that we did, radios, we've posted on Facebook and so forth. But from time to time, people must familiarize themselves with Facebook pages of organizations and departments. That's where actually opportunities for young people are there. So that when you use your phones, not for TikTok or Facebook, okay, you get up Facebook and then you look for this thing. But the grant it has been simplified rather than before. So this is an opportunity for as many young people to actually access the fund. And so that even if you're here, be a mouthpiece to anyone. But should you have any other inquiries, I'll leave a contact person so that you may be able to call again. But what we normally do, we still continue with our district road shows. And I think we'll be in Nelson Mandela in September. We were doing Sarah Batman in August. So we'll be in Nelson Mandela in this September. We'll, of course, again, issue out notices and so forth for when we'll be doing those roadshows. It's always nice and propagate that young people must come and ask for themselves so that they get better understanding of how the grant operates. But now, probably a person would ask themselves, what does it fund really? It funds every sector, almost every sector. Okay. Agricultural sector, if you've got an interest in agriculture, franchise, fish, what else? It's a pity my laptop can't open, but most sectors, and even other sectors, if you're involved in restaurants and catering, cleaning services, grass cutting services, any type of a business, it does fund. But except for alcohol, it does not fund alcohol-related issues. Gambling businesses, it does not fund, unfortunately. But also what is unique about it is that whilst it's funding the business, it's also funding capital and salaries for the entire establishment. So you may also, when you're applying for it, also say, okay, I'm also applying for salaries for a maximum period of 12 months. It also covers rentals if your business is operating in the work rent. So you may then receive rental for a maximum of 12 months. Salary is also up until the maximum of 12 months. Also, you are able to purchase machinery with it. Also, as long as the material is 100% used for the business. Any manufacturing, if you manufacture those machines, it can buy your vehicles, your trucks, anything that you do or can you utilize for the business, solemnly for the business. 100% of it must be used by the business, and you must be able to prove, of course, that you're going to need this. If you're mining sand, you need trucks. I'm just making an example, it does purchase you for that. So it generally covers every business sector. Marketing material is included there. So it's that type of a grant that covers almost everything. But as I've said, doesn't cover any alcohol-related businesses, drugs-related businesses, gambling-related businesses, and so forth. It also does not fund property. The only way how it can assist you into being a property developer is when you've got your own land. But you buying a house for example, if you would want to venture into a B&B space or something, but it cannot do that unless you've got your own land, then you would then be applying for, making an example, your student accommodation services where you want to build in your own land, then the grant may then fund you for that, but not for ukutenga a B&B or buying a hotel and of some sort. Can only assist in tourism sector. So there's quite a lot that it can assist, which mostly young people are involved in. So generally, it can assist you from any sector. As long as it's not the prohibited sectors according to the law in South Africa, then it can assist you. Also, the grant does not assist you with your previous debts, but it can cover your current debts. When I mean current debts, I don't mean when you are when you are owing younger something, but when you've got a recurring debt that says, okay, I've got rentals from next month up until December, then that it can pay. It can pay your rates, continuous rate, not previously, not previous rates, and so forth. So it's a nice package that young people can tap to. It's a really good package that can assist those who want to develop themselves into the enterprise development space and want to grow in that space. There are lots of frustrations that young people get when they are in the business space. They can't even afford being granted loans from banks. They don't qualify. Banks have got many red tapes. They wouldn't even qualify for other grants that are there. So this is a good opportunity for them to actually tap into. So I'll take questions if there are any. I've tried to summarize it because of time, but I'll also leave contact details for a person who would have any other interest outside the session.
Can I please have an indication of any hands that are in the audience? Any questions? There's one question from the councillor. Just to say it again, the councillor will be getting in touch with our different stakeholders to make sure that most of the details that we have communicated here are by his office. So if any one of the committee members need to get in touch with anything or any information, any classification questions, you can do it through the councillor. Presentations will be available through the councillor, contact details through the councillor.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. It's always nice when we enter each other's space. It opens like doors and you understand what you stand for. I just wanted to ask you, are you also assisting women who are older than 35? And are you also assisting with urban farming and freshwater fish farming and chicken farming and all that? Are you also assisting youth in that sectors?
Thank you very much. So the question that the council was asking, we capture it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me start with the last question that you asked. If it's farming, yes. If it's a young person who's involved, yes. There are different types of farming, most depending on the area. one would then automatically say that fish farming is vast in the area because you've got amalwandle and so forth. And I know that there were, I'm just making an example. I know that already there were applications in previous openings for fish farming, which was around Nelson Mandela and what's this? Port Alfred. So I think that area is vast in fish farming stuff. But as long as it's an activity agricultural activity that is run by a young person, or an initiative that is run by a young person, some ideas, Tina, we won't even know, but we'll get to understand them when there's a proposal in place. So as long as it's a business idea that is an initiative by a young person, there are programs and funding funding programs that are available for women, but not in the Office of the Premier, but in DDIT. There's a funding called LRED that accommodates women, young women, and older women. So they fall in that bracket. I know now there hasn't yet been an opening, but you must just contact your DDIT offices. They normally do road shows as well when the time ivulile. So I know that, so whoever is older than 35, whether it's a male or female for that matter, can contact DDIT offices for the LRED fund.
Thank you very much. Just a clarity-seeking question also on my part. Based on your presentation, what I understand is that should anybody have an idea or any one of these young people have an idea, their first point of call is to contact CETA so they can have a proper business plan and so that their idea is documented, and therefore at that phase, they are done with that documentation. From there, then they start knocking at the other doors, including the Office of the Premier, to get their idea funded, incubated, and implemented. Correct? Okay. Any other questions?
Sometimes when you are asking, you've gone through all these phases, and then it comes to you start a requirement for the funding. Can they just give us a certain, how long does it take and the period of time for waiting on these? Because sometimes you go and you do all these things. You go to a supply chain, you get your stuff on credit, but then the creditors start to knock on your door every time, and then you never got the funding. Just a period.
So basically, Mama wants to know just a turnaround time. So I apply today. Am I receiving an answer tomorrow? Am I receiving it next week, next month? Because, for example, I've got rentals that need to be paid by the end of the month. I'm applying now, today, but they will want their money tomorrow on the 31st. So would I have an answer, or is there some time period that you have?
Okay, let me probably take you through the process. Applications open and they close after a month or so. For example, the ones that Zivala Namhlanje opened on the 1st of July, and they were closing today, which is the 30th of August. So you've got a month that you have opened applications for. Now, after the closure of applications are processed, are captured first, because you get quite a number of applications. You captured them, pre-process them. After that, they get evaluated. It can take a month of the evaluation, or a month and a half, because that's not only a program that is done by the department, they also do other programs. And then after that, those that have been shortlisted or have an opportunity to be funded, they have to be verified and assessed physically whether they do exist or not. Those are internal processes, of course, leading to the approval. Then after that, it also, remember, every district has those assessments and verification. So that may also take a month. I'm just estimating now, because I can't give you the exact number of days. Now, the verifications are done in all 8 districts, because we've got all 8 districts in the province. Then after those verifications have been done, reports have to be consolidated for the verification whether, okay, I went, I saw it exists. This is really a true reflection of what was in the business plan. After that, recommendations are done and sent back to the evaluation committee to say that we went there, this is what we see. We then recommend A, B, C, D, F, G. And then a letter of award, if that person has been awarded, is written. That's another month, I'm assuming. And then signed, obviously writing a letter and signed don't take a month. Letters are signed and then sent back to the beneficiaries. Those who have been rejected will also receive rejection letters to say, your application was not successful because of A, B, C, D, and G. So that when time comes again and opening, so that they may then reapply, taking note of what of the aspects that we said, okay, you failed on part A, part B, part C. So that again, they then reapply. Then after that, they get award letters. Now we have to process the grant now. We haven't even started processing the grant. We're still doing internal application processes. Then after that, other internal processes have to kick in for now processing the fund. And also what is important that we need to know is that people are not given money. The only money one receives, which is monitored very closely, it's the salary money if you have been granted money for salaries, and the money for rentals if you have been granted money for rentals. But other than else, machinery is bought on your behalf by the state, and then you sign a contract. The grant, as much as it's a grant, but it's got a contract that the beneficiary needs to sign that says, I do adhere to these processes. For example, if you have been granted money for a car, for purposes of your business, that car is not yours up until such so many years. So those are the terms and conditions that one has to adhere to. So it's that process. But what we're trying to do is trying to ease the length that was there previously, because some people would get, it's pointless to get funding in 2020 and then you go and use it in 2021. So some people actually even lose those businesses that they've actually secured because of the lengthy processes that we normally take as government. But we've tried to introduce systems that will fasten the whole entire process, making it less than even 4 months or 5 months, hopefully. But we'll try. But we all know, some of the councillors here, we know those tedious red tapes that we've got your PFMAs, your systems, everything, but which we cannot bypass, but we need to make sure that we can fast track it.
Thank you very much. Uzuk has confirmed with me that we're having some connection issues, so we don't foresee the last presentation being done because it was virtual. Let me just finish up with the questions. Are there any other questions from the floor? Here is a question. I am 20 years old and I apply for the grant and I'm accepted the first time, right? And my business is up and running. I've got a second business idea. Is that person allowed to apply for another time for the same grant? Let's say I'm within the age bracket, and I've got a couple of years that I will fall within the age bracket. I apply, I am funded for business one. It's up and running. It is a successful business. Can I apply for a second business idea?
Yes, you may. Remember, this is not up to young. I'm just making an example. There is a process, and you would be submitting a business case, not in mind saying that younger has initially been funded. But what is nice about it is that in the application form, there's a space there that says disclose which funding opportunities were you able to tap to, whether it's your NYDA, whether it's your Isikalo, you would say, so whether it's your LRED. So it actually would give us a sense of whether you have been funded, but that does not say it will disqualify you.
Are we all captured? Are there any other questions here before we try and close off the session? Thank you so much for availing your time, for coming through. Thank you to all our stakeholders for the presentations and the comprehensive ones, please. And I would like to encourage our stakeholders to continue doing this, but let's take it and put it into action now. Let's get in touch with the relative officials so that people that actually need such funding, that need this information, can get in touch with. Because I'm sure this is literally a drop in the ocean of the people that need access to this information. Can the councillors be my mouthpieces for the people and try get them such funding? Can you communicate even with the relevant stakeholders that are here, even with the municipality if it is needed, so that the community can get in touch with what they deserve, what was promised and what was needed? For those words, thank you so much. I declare the session closed.